The federal government is about to step in and end a strike at CP Rail today. Greg Harper joins us live right now from Pitt Meadows with the very latest on this. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Well, this is a very busy area this morning. We have trucks dropping off containers and taking containers from this area as well. And behind me, you could see the striking CP Rail employees who are letting the trucks go through because they say they don't have a beef with the truckers. Their beef is with their employer, and that is CP Rail. 3,300 locomotive engineers and conductors walked off the job early Sunday morning. This after an agreement between CP and its workers could not be reached by the deadline, which was midnight on Sunday. Reportedly, the government is prepared to table legislation today that would end the strike and force CP employees back to work. The rail workers are represented by the Teamsters Union, and its president says the government's intervention is premature and disappointing, but CP Rail is for it. According to a spokesperson we talked to here this morning, the main issue is hours worked.
There's three main reasons. The first one being fatigue management. It's a big issue for all of our members and the public. The second is the respect of the provisions within the collective agreement, and just an overall quality of life.
So if this legislation is tabled and it passes, CP Rail employees would likely return to work later on this week. Jody?
All right, thanks for the update. Greg Harper reporting live from Pitt Meadows this morning. The Supreme Court of Canada will hear arguments starting today in a series of cases that question our country's human smuggling laws. 4 of the 5 cases the court will consider are connected to the arrival of ships filled with Sri Lankan migrants off the coast of BC. One of the cases involves 4 people charged with human smuggling after the arrival of a vessel which brought 76 Sri Lankan Tamils to our coast in the fall of 2009. The BC Civil Liberties Association has intervened in the case. It says the law that criminalizes people who help undocumented migrants enter Canada is unconstitutional. Traffic congestion is having a major impact on Metro Vancouver's economy. In fact, it's costing us upwards of $1 billion every year. HDR Consulting conducted the study for the Mayor's Council on Regional Transportation. That group is a coalition of mayors who support a yes vote in the transit tax referendum. The report says our region's economy loses $1 billion annually from congestion when you tally up vehicle operating costs, lost productivity, and pollution. Critics say, however, that the report doesn't factor in technology advances or other transportation investments over the next 30 years. The death of a 3-year-old girl in Surrey is being considered suspicious as homicide investigators examine the case. The girl was rushed to hospital on Wednesday after a reported household incident at 182nd Street and 58th Avenue. The little girl passed away on Saturday. Police are saying very little about this incident, but they spent most of the weekend at the home investigating.
It's a situation where we are interviewing everybody associated with that child to determine exactly what happened. Again, it's such a sensitive investigation. You know, we treat them all very seriously, but I think it's hard on everyone when we hear about a 3-year-old child dying.
Police are still awaiting the official cause of death as the coroner conducts an autopsy. A busy transit hub is the scene of Metro Vancouver's latest homicide investigation. A man was stabbed during a fight yesterday morning around 12:45 near Burnaby's Edmonds Station. The victim was rushed to hospital but later died. No arrests have been made. Investigators have interviewed some witnesses but are hoping more come forward.
As far as we can tell, there were quite a few people in the area. It's 1:45 in the morning. The SkyTrain's still running. There's a reasonable belief that quite a few people would have seen something, if not a specific altercation, at least maybe something from before or after.
International news now. Egyptian aircraft bombed Islamic State targets in Libya today, marking the first time Cairo has acknowledged taking military action inside its neighbor's border. The airstrikes were a retaliation after the extremist group released a grisly video showing the beheading of 21 Egyptian Coptic Christians it had been holding captive for weeks. The beheadings have drawn strong condemnation from around the world. Danish police have arrested 2 men they accuse of helping the gunman involved in 2 deadly weekend shootings in Copenhagen. Police say the pair gave the gunman shelter and also helped get rid of a weapon. The 22-year-old Danish gunman killed one person at a free speech seminar and another outside a synagogue on Saturday before he was shot dead by police. Authorities say the gunman had a history of violence and gang connections and that he may have been inspired by the terror attacks by Islamic extremists in Paris that killed 17 people. To weather now, most of Ontario has braved another night of biting winds and frigid Arctic temperatures. People living in the Toronto area are dealing with wind chill values of around -35 this morning. During an extreme cold weather alert, frostbite can occur on exposed skin in just a few minutes. At least one death has been recorded so far.